y'all. My name is Jasmine Jones. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. You are now watching Black Girl Therapists in the Wild. This is a little series I like to call Therapist Sips and Reviews, and we are sipping and reviewing P-Valley S1 Season 1 Belly. And as you know from my last video, I just had surgery, so I'm going to be sitting here with an ice pack and a cup of red Gatorade in my unicorn goblet today. You know, we'll just say I'm inebriated in spirit instead of in real life. So there you go. Because, yes. So this episode, I feel like in this episode, Mercedes just kind of released some bullshit baggage that she was having. It was just like a weight off her chest. Excuse if you can hear the noise of the mowing people, the gardeners that come to the apartment to mow and things. And I feel like she just kind of read her mom for filth. Fuck that bitch, she's evil. And her mom showed just how evil and manipulative she can be in this fucking episode. Yes, God, honey. Yes, she did. And the monster that came out of her was the person that plays Patrice is a good actress. She's a very good actor. They got some good I feel like the acting potential for this show just went up in this episode. Like, everybody was on their toes when it came to this acting shit, okay? So we start off at the club, and Mississippi did a good job. People filmed her. She went viral. And one particular woman filmed her. She was there celebrating her recent divorce. And the reason she got divorced was funny, yet kind of gross. But we'll get to that. And she was there celebrating her recent divorce and spending her divorce settlement on strippers. And she got towed the fuck up, just drunk, and was throwing money everywhere. And then, you know, getting all happy about Mississippi dancing. And then Mississippi danced for her in private. And, you know, she calling Mississippi all sorts of beautifuls. And you're the most beautiful woman I have ever seen in my whole... I can't laugh. Don't laugh. Oh, yes, she was enjoying her time up to a point. You could see on her face that the sadness would come through from her husband divorcing her. And she eventually broke down from all the liquor and the sadness and started crying on Mississippi, talking about, oh, why he don't want me no more. Oh, Lord. And then she passes out on the floor at some point in the club. And then, you know, during this time where the woman is there, we see Clifford with Lil Murda. And I like how, you know, Lil Murda is just forceful and aggressive with Clifford, like treating her like the lady that she is. I believe in trans people, so if you don't, get the fuck off my page. Treating her like the lady that she is. Like, he really likes her. Like, I didn't expect this. And Clifford is coming out of the office and sees the drunk divorcee on the floor. She has been on the floor of the strip club, passed out all night. Yes, she has. And, you know, she takes her the fuck up out of there. Get the fuck up out of here. And as she's trying to carry her out, we go to the front of the Pink, and there is a pink, a very bright, hot pink, which is one of my favorite colors, foreclosure notice on the Pink. You know, because in the last episode, the mayor said he would take care of the Pink and Clifford, and Andre can take care of the Kyle brothers. So the way the mayor is taking care of the Pink is that he's about to auction the Pink. And everybody's looking at the foreclosure like, what are we gonna do? We don't know what to do. And Clifford comes out and kicks this bitch out his place, and she just walking off, you know. And Clifford's like, what are y'all looking at? And then she sees a sign, and she just passed No, first she was like, "Where's Mercedes? Have you guys heard from Mercedes? Is that why y'all standing out here like this?" And Clifford really loves Mercedes. She is the best not brothel, strip club owner in all the land. She cares about these girls. And it's just beautiful to see. They're a family. They're a community. It's not some nigga that's just owning the strip club like in Players Club and being gross and nasty. She cares. She is trying to fund these girls, education and lives and things. She ain't just in it for the money and all this other stupid shit. So I think that is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, because in Players Club, Bernie Mac his character was pimping bitches out and shit and all this other dumb shit, and he still got killed. So I don't feel bad for his character. You shouldn't treat people like that. So, as they're reading the foreclosure notice on the Pank, Clifford passes out. Mississippi is on a high. She's on a natural high, baby. She got her confidence up. She online. People she went viral basically for her dance at the strip club, and she is super just extra confident and happy and just glorious about it. Yes, Mississippi, I like it, but I feel like at some point she's taking it too fucking far. She could do something with this though. I wouldn't be mad at her if she did something with this though. Just don't be mean to other people. Don't be mean to other people. So my throat is scratchy from the thing they stuck down it for me to breathe while I was having surgery. So I don't have the corona when I talk a lot. Yes. They got 14 days on the foreclosure. Clifford passes out. Mississippi is happy to just go viral. Then we skip over to Mercedes on the news. So apparently the news is reporting it as a prostitute attacked this wonderful church woman preacher, and she's on the television. And then we scoot down over to Haley trying to get another one of these money transfers, and the bitch at the wire transfer place is like, no, because we've ended the unlimited wire transfers. And Haley's like, but I thought it was for flood victims and shit like that. And the woman's like, we only did that for 2 months and now it's over, which is some bullshit. It's some bullshit. That's trash. And Haley said it perfectly. So you think our lives are just going to be back together in 2 months and shit like that? Like, the fuck? They're just rebuilding houses in 2 months. All the things. Anyways, Haley walks on up out of there just defeated. Like, I was supposed to get this money. I want to get this money. So I think she switched her addiction because she doesn't need it. That's the thing. At some point, you say, okay, I have enough money to fund a life. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do something that individualistically funds my life instead of, go to school, make your own business, that's a lot of money. She's done it 10 times. That's damn near $100,000 because she's getting like 9,000 out every time. I think a few times she got 6,000 out, but at some point you want to say, I'm done. And no, I think she's now moved her addiction from drinking to the money. And then as Haley is at the wire transfer place arguing with this woman, here come the drunk bitch from the strip club, driving up, and she almost ran through the wire transfer place because she's still drunk and she's driving. And so the police are chasing her. They send her to jail. We hop skip over to jail. Mercedes is getting fingerprinted. She's trying to sweet talk the jail person, the police jail man, into, letting her go, saying it was self-defense and all this other stuff. Lo and behold, the police officer is Sam. I think that's his name. I'm remembering names, you guys. The practice makes perfect. This shit is making me practice remembering names. See, you find a positive out of everything. Anyways, she's getting her picture taken and she looks up And he's like, well, now you know how it feels to have my wallet stolen, because she's telling him her mom stole her money. And he's like, well, now you know how it feels to have my wallet stolen. I never got my wallet back. And she looks up, and it's the nigga from the first episode that was trying to touch and feel on her and all that stupid shit. And she's like, oh shit, because she knows. Then they walk Mercedes back to the prison, and niggas is catcalling her. And of course she feels uncomfortable because she's in this sparkly, thong get up from last night that she was supposed to be doing her last dance in. And niggas is catcalling. And then they got a transgender woman in the cell with the niggas and shit, getting molested and touched on, just all sorts of nastiness. And she trying to ask to get moved to the woman's cell and all this other shit. And the officers is like, not right now, because they got to check to see if she's been operated on. I mean, how about you just not have her in there? How about you see that she's being harassed continuously, and you just don't have her in there and stuff. So anyway, she's walking down, and then some of the girls from the cells are video recording her, so they can put it online. Like, oh, look at this bitch. And then they put her in the woman's cell, and her mom is also in the woman's cell, and she sees her mom, and she clocks that bitch in the face like she's supposed to. Yes, God, honey, I said what I said. I don't care. And then her mom uses her narcissistic charms to appear like she's, innocent and shit. And this older woman comes over and is like, breaks them apart. And she tells her that she's her mom. And the older woman's like, you don't hit your mom. I don't care what she's done to you. No, fuck that bitch up. She is a narcissist. There's something wrong with her. She is, out here manipulating and beguiling people with her words so that you can believe that she's not trash, but she's trash. And, she gets what she fucking deserves. Beat her ass. Then we go back to the front of the jail. And some nigga is looking for his wife. She's been missing for 2 months since the flood. And he's been going tragically city to city, state to state, trying to find, his beloved. And it is, what is this? Travius, Tremontius, Trayvonius, whatever the fuck, evil nigga. Cause he has a very good aura, evil. It was a little corny though, little cartoon villainish, But I feel like we haven't seen the full level of his character yet, so I'm not gonna judge too harshly. He's up there looking for his wife, and he's like, oh, well, if you see this woman, then let me know. And he walks out. And, while he's talking about looking for his wife, he lets this one tear come from the corner. So he's basically like Mercedes' mom, a narcissist. He's crazy. He puts on emotions and puts on acts to make people believe he's something that he's not. And then he beats the brakes off bitches' asses in private. Wait. So then Clifford is at the jail with the girls. And at first I thought she was there to get Mercedes out, but she didn't know Mercedes was there yet. So she's there for the foreclosure and trying to figure out why the sheriff and put the shit on the door and all this other shit. So she's talking to the sheriff, and the sheriff's like, well, you let that drunk bitch leave you. Because I'm wondering, like, why is this story focused on this drunk bitch? Who cares? But the drunk bitch that, no, she wasn't the catalyst for the foreclosure, but I think the sheriff is just using her as an excuse to say, oh, look, on top of this, so this is doubling down on the fact that you're going to be foreclosed. I'm like, why are we following this bitch around? Who cares about her? What does she matter? Why? And so she's just used as a piece to double down on the fact that they're about to shut Clifford's shit down. And the sheriff says that. He's like, I tried to be easy on you, but you're not supposed to be serving liquor with strippers and things, and you did it anyways, and this bitch was riding around town drunk and breaking shit. You got 14 days. And Clifford's just like, the fuck? And the sheriff's like, take it up with the mayor. It's none of my business. The sheriff then tells Clifford that Mercedes is here, so that was another doubling down. Like, oh, see, one of your bitches got arrested, see? And Clifford's like, Mercedes here? Let me go see her. That's my daughter. Like, that's Clifford's daughter. Like, you see, that's a beautiful connection. It's like a family. It's like when them LGBTQ folks be forming families and shit, and they just be like loving on each other and saying, fuck our biological people because they were trash. And they will always be trash. And we love each other. That's a beautiful thing. Hurt people don't hurt people. Hurt people that don't know how to grow and change and be better hurt people. That's the difference. Hurt people get together and form beautiful communities of love and take care of each other and shit like that. So there you go. And so Clifford goes back there, and Clifford's about to throw down money on Mercedes' bail, and Mercedes is like, and then Clifford mentions the foreclosure, and Mercedes is like, no, you need to keep the pank. And she's like, you need to figure it the fuck out and keep the pank. And so Clifford's like, okay, and Clifford leaves her there in jail. And while Clifford is walking to and fro from Mercedes and out, her mama is just saying bullshit like, look at it, and look at that thing, and fuck that thing, and da-da-da-da, and you're her pimp, and da-da-da. And Clifford just like, come say it to my face, bitch, I'll fuck you. And then Clifford leaves, and Mercedes like, no, you were my pimp. You put money on me when I was a baby. You had my name on bills and all sorts of shit. And I'm sure that is the least of what she did, because a lot of people's parents did that. It doesn't mean that they turned out to be abusive, horrible parents, but you should never do some shit like that. Don't fuck up your child's credit before your child has a chance to fucking live life. How about that? But she in there telling it all. Then we go to Mercedes. She to Gidget. So Gidget's in the kitchen making some kind of crushed up pill smoothie for her mama. I don't know if her mom needs the medicine or if she's just on, addicted to painkillers. See, that's why I'm not taking these opiates for this surgery. Fuck that shit. Don't give me some shit that they had on the Wolf of Wall Street and shit. I saw what that shit did to that nigga. I'm not taking that shit. You got me fucked up, bitch. You will never see me take some shit that had that nigga thinking he drove home, nice and easily. If y'all ain't seen The Wolf of Wall Street, you need to watch it. Thinking he drove home nice and easy. This nigga swerving, hitting shit, getting out of his car, crawling on the ground towards the door. Like, don't know what the fuck. I'm not taking that shit. So anyways, Gidget's in the kitchen crushing up some pill smoothie for her mom, and Mercedes calls her and asks her for the bail money. Gidget's like, why the fuck should I do that? I thought you had money saved up. And she tells Gidget how her mama stole her fucking money, stole the building that she was supposed to use for the girls, all this other shit. Bullshit, just trash. And Gidget's like, okay, we're gonna get the girls together and we're gonna figure it the fuck out. That's what you do. You try your best. You get together as a family. This is a newfound family. It's beautiful. And Mercedes hangs up the phone, and she turns around, and there's Officer Sam looking rapey and creepy, like he about to snap. And she's just standing there looking at him like, oh Lord. Because I've done this before too. When I've been scared around niggas, you just start calculating like, okay, so if he grabbed my arms, I could kick him in the knee, and then okay, but if he hit me in the face, maybe I can move my jaw a little bit so he don't get my head and I don't pass out, and then I can hit him and bite him. It's used to start calculating how you gonna get the fuck up out. Are you freeze? Fight, flight, or freeze? She might have froze. She looked scared up in that jail, like some shit happened to her. But she's a stripper too, so I would say anybody, but no, she looks scared, like some shit happened to her. Or, still, even if you was a stripper, nothing happened to you and shit. This shit is still sketches, niggas. You ain't in control no more. This is a controlled environment with no bodyguards to beat these niggas' ass for trying to touch you. So yeah, it's understandable. But he gives her his jacket. I guess he heard her on the phone, heard her talking about what her mama did, and he feel bad and shit like that. So he gives her his jacket and lets her go back to the cell. She goes back to the cell. She sits down. She starts talking. Her mama starts talking shit about how she got the jacket. And, the girls in there talking about, well, I wish I had an ass like that. And her mama saying, it brings more trouble than glory, or whatever the fuck she said. That was stupid. Fuck that bitch. So the girls in the cell are still on Mercedes' mama's side. This is gonna, shift back and forth, this dynamic here as the show goes on. So Mercedes is in the jail with her mom, and she thinking her mom planned this from the start. Like, she's reading her mom talking about how she just wanted to get her shit together for her child, and her mom telling her like, you don't need that child. And apparently the the girl's dad is the girl that woman that takes care of Tarika's husband. So either she was raped, because she was a child when she had that child. They was all the same age, and he cheated. We haven't got there yet, but it apparently that's what her mama said. And she just like, I want to be there for my child. I want to do this, and you out here stealing my money and my building and all this other stupid shit. And this bitch keeps saying, well, God forgives me, and you should too. And it's like, bitch, you want her to forgive you, yet you haven't apologized, admitted that you were wrong for doing any of the things that you've done to her. You just made excuses and said, God forgives me. So that means you didn't do nothing wrong because God forgives you. What does that mean? What does that mean? I need a translation because we're missing a step here. So, yes. And Mercedes is like, I wanted this for my child. I want this for my future. What the fuck? So then we go to Haley, and Haley, dumbass, is so addicted to the money that she almost had that shit wired to herself in her fucking name. She erased it though. She didn't do it, but still, it's just, I don't want things to be that in control of me to where I do stupid shit that can either end me dead, in jail, raped, all the bad things that could, poor, homeless, all the things that I don't want. So, there you go. I don't want that. I don't want that. Nope. And the girls, the strippers at the club, they want to go get Mercedes out the jail. So Gidget's talking to them about putting the money together. So they go, and Haley goes with them. Haley got the money plus some. So, but wait till the end. So the girls they go to the bail bonds place, and this nigga's gross, talking about their vaginas and all sorts of stupid shit, and almost dripped that on me. and just trash. So they don't have enough because apparently Mercedes had tickets and traffic violations and all sorts of shit that piled up, so it made her bail go from $2,000 to $5,000. And the girls dipped, and Gidget was like, oh shit. And Haley stayed, and Gidget and Haley were talking, and Haley was like, because Gidget had told the girls before they left, Mercedes would do it for you, and da-da-da-da. And so Haley, like, after the girls left, was like, would Mercedes really do that for them? And Gidget was like, no. And so, they sitting out there talking. Then we go to my favorite scene in this episode. So we're in the cell, and everybody is on Mercedes' side. Everybody is looking at this bitch like she's crazy. Like, why would you do this to your daughter? You're trash. Everything you've done is trash. Everything you'll be is trash. And you'll never be a preacher. Who says you're a preacher? I bet you can't even preach. I think Mercedes says that. This bitch, because this is what she does to Mercedes. You have to remember this. This is on a bigger version of how she manipulates Mercedes. This bitch pulls out her narcissistic script and just does a whole sermon in the jail cell. Starts everybody singing. People believing in this bitch. That's what they do. That's like some Jim Jones shit. And she just like, I was a fallen woman. I was a this and a that, but God, and all sorts of dumb fucking shit. I was pissed off that them people fell for that bullshit. Not a one other person. Mercedes was sitting there just staring at her, and I think it was a mixture of being triggered because that's what she uses against her to get her to give her stuff. And, based off her decision at the end, a mixture of being done. Like, I'm done. And then looking at everybody around, seeing how crazy they're getting. Not crazy, but like, just how much they're being convinced by her mom's performance and seeing herself in them. Because that's how convinced she gets, possibly, when she has to deal with that. Or she may just want her to shut up. Who knows? And realizing that she was tired. of all of the bullshit. But that woman put on a good performance of a narcissist trying to sway over a crowd, an evil bitch trying to perform her way out of some bullshit. And it was magnificent. I can't be mad at the performance. Her mom, the character Patrice, is still an evil hoe. Fuck that bitch. And even more so now because she's, you see the lengths of her power and how much she can sway people over because of her issues and her ability to use her own stuff against people. So she then crawls to Mercedes' feet and she begs Mercedes to forgive her. This is what she does at the end of every sermon that she does for Mercedes, is beg. And she looks evil and sweaty and horrible, and just makes us Christians look so bad. I hate that shit. It's like, stop it. Go do something. And she just is like, forgive me. Forgive me. I did not apologizing once. Not one. And if she did, it was fake. I don't care if y'all send me some shit. And in this scene here, she said I was sorry. Okay, well, no, that's not a real. I don't care. It's my mind. She ain't apologized once. So she crawled into her, talking about forgive me. And Mercedes gets down on her knees, hugs her mom. And I was like, damn it. It was like, what is that movie? It's this movie about this mom and they in like the country and it's white people and Bastard Out of Carolina. There you go. And the boyfriend was like molesting the child, but he hadn't raped her yet. And then eventually he raped her, and like the mom found out, and when she found out, he ran up to the car apologizing and crying. And this bitch gonna stick her hand out the window and cup his face. Y'all stop falling for these fucking manipulative, narcissistic people, okay? It's a performance. They will be the same in a day. They will be as fucked up as they were a week ago, okay? Because that's what this bitch was doing. And she hugged her, and I felt that jolt I felt when I saw Bastard Out of Carolina. And I was like, this bitch, oh my gosh. But she leaned into her mama's ear, cradled her just like a baby, and she said, you're dead to me. I know the fuck you right. I know you right, bitch. Right. Yes, God, honey. And then she gets bailed out. And who bails her out? Haley. That's who bails her the fuck out. Yes. And let me just say that when Mercedes walked out that fucking jail after getting bailed out, she walked out like she just dropped a ton of bricks. And she got into Haley's car and broke the fuck down. Like, she just dropped all that baggage off her shoulder. I don't know if she there yet, because it takes practice to get rid of. Once you're ready to get rid of somebody like that out of your life, it still takes practice, because there's knee-jerk reactions to their bullshit that it's hard to just like, no, I don't want to fall back into this cycle of abuse, and then you fall back in, and then it's like an addiction. They say you fall off the wagon at least 11 times on average before you get back up, but you don't know how long it's going to take between those 11 times. One time you fall off, it's about a week. The other time you fall off, it's about 11 years. But it's 11 times, so, it's still going to be a process. Then we go over to the mayor. He is holding court at the barbershop, prancing back and forth in his finery, discussing whatever the fuck he's discussing in front of his subjects, And in walks Clifford. His nephew is getting a haircut. So the mayor's nephew, Andre, is getting a haircut. And they're talking about the casino and things. And so Clifford walks in this frilly see-through blouse, and this off pinkish, kind of blondish hair. And she wants to hold court with the mayor. And she sits down with the mayor and she discusses, what she found on Andre's computer. And she discusses how the people in the town have to pay more for rent for their stuff than the white folks on the other side of town. and she discussed she don't want her shit to be closed, and the mayor is like this venomous snake, just saying all this fucked up shit about trans folks and calling her a it, and she's a tumor on the town and he can't wait to cut it off, and all this fucked up shit. And then when she brings up the stuff she got off the computer, the mayor's like, I don't care what you got, I'm still foreclosing on the shit. And Clifford, gets up and, regal and walks the fuck out, because fuck that shit. And the mayor is looking at Andre like, how she get this information? So we see the mayor and Andre in his car after, and he's trying to figure out how did Clifford get this information about the club. And Andre's like, oh, well, I must have left it there when I was doing business, when I was there before. And, the mayor's like, well, you probably screwed us all and shit like that and whatever. So he mad, but whatever. Back to the club, and Lil Murder's song is playing, and he's standing up on the stage with the DJ looking all happy that his song is playing, and Mississippi is doing her dance again, and she's concentrating. She's in the zone. She's found that zone that Mercedes was in, that zone that people that play sports aggressively find, where everything else is blocked out and you just focus on your breathing and your body and shit that I can't do. And she in it. She confident. She was in the back with the girls talking shit because she, was going viral and shit. She trying to be like Black China and all this other stupid shit. And then this is when Lil Murder comes in. So in the beginning, Clifford was looking over Lil Murder like she was in love and all sorts of beautiful shit. And I was like, that's so cute. They're in love. And then Lil Murder comes back to the club, and the accountant is in there, and the accountant, Lil Murder Clifford asked the accountant to leave, and the accountant's like, what the fuck, we're trying to talk about the money that the club owes, and we need to figure this out. And Clifford tells the accountant to leave, and Lil Murder's like, well, when you left last night and I wanted to do it again this morning, and and that's when he asked her out on a date, and he's all aggressive and all this other stupid shit, and she just standoffish about it. We in the South, it's enough that she gets to wear her dresses and clothing and walk around town and not feel like somebody's gonna murder her every 5 seconds, maybe every 10 seconds, instead. But it's enough that she gets to do that. And this nigga talking about, let's go on a date and walk around. And she's talking about last niggas that did that ended up in the lake. And the last bitches that did that ended up raped. She's like, where the fuck you gonna take me? But I love the sentiment. I love that he is willing to show her off. Fuck all these people. And it was a beautiful thing. He was ready to come out the closet for her, and it was wonderful, and I loved it. So they start kissing and shit, and then Mississippi come back, and I guess oh no, what happened? No. So they start kissing and shit, and then Mississippi gets off the stage, and then that's when she's with the girls talking about, I'm viral and blah, blah, and then somebody comes back there and says that her nigga is there with the baby. She go outside. It's this white dude that looks all sorts of serial killerish. Just, he's gonna chop her up into little minced human pieces and spread them all over his hamburgers. And Diamond is out there, of course, he's bodyguarding. He's acting like he don't see nothing. And she walk over to get her baby, and she's not sure if her husband, boyfriend, whatever, has seen the video of her dancing on the pole that went viral. And he's like, oh, why you still gotta work here? I got my job and da da da. So apparently he doesn't want her to work there anymore. But did you find her there? Did you find her there? Is that where you met her? Why do you think she's going to change? Because, you don't want her to be there. Anyways, so she's like, it's just for the money. And then he brings up the video, and he's like, well, you look beautiful on the video and all this other shit. And then, she gets her, or she gets her baby. So she's taking the baby, and she's walking away. And he's just giving off all sorts of, I'm going to murder you one day and bury you in the basement vibes. I don't fuck. I'm not saying black men don't do shit like that. But I am saying that statistically speaking, white niggas be killing people in very interesting ways. And, I feel like because he's giving off these vibes. I don't trust this man. There's something wrong with I'm just saying, it was bad before when, he was just like beating on her and shit. But now it's like you're giving off full I'm gonna murder you in some torturous way vibes if I get mad enough. And so I worry for her. And she walks back in the club and she's taking her baby back to Clifford to watch, and she sees Clifford kissing Lil Murda. So cute because he was so aggressive with it. I like the gentle aggressiveness, where it's consensual. Throw that in there because niggas don't know what that means. And he's like, oh, bitches like aggressiveness. See? Now you don't know what you want. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Stupid. Consensual. And, Clifford was going to go out and talk to Mississippi about seeing her kiss Lil Murda. But Lil Murda says, no, I'm going to go handle her. In this deep ass baritone and all this other shit. I thought I was just, he's handling things. I don't have to do nothing. He'll handle it. Oh. Niggas, there's niggas out there that'll just handle. Yeah. So anyways, after the nigga went to handle things, we see Mercedes and Haley on Haley's balcony. And I said, they don't dislike each other. They didn't dislike each other. They had shit going on. They picked each other to pick on to release some steam. Anyways, they're on the balcony and Mercedes talking about how her mama stole her money, and I guess Haley commiserated with her and felt bad and all this other shit. So Haley talking about how her story a little bit, how she ran away and she was almost about to get away, and then the flood came and she lost her daughter and she searched for her for 3. Her daughter ain't gotta be dead. That's all I gotta say. Don't come for me lest I send for you. Her daughter does not have to be dead. You know how these shows go. Her daughter doesn't have to be dead. That's all I'm saying. And searched for her for 3 days and couldn't find her, and now she's here. And then she tells Mercedes about the money transfers, and Mercedes is like, oh, she giving Mercedes a stack to hold on to and shit like that. And then Mercedes is gonna go to the transfer place on Friday and get some money out. So she pulling some bitches in and shit. She pulling her in to get the money. So I think that because, you don't trust somebody with no money like that easily. I think that she's been sitting and watching how everybody treats each other at this club, and she's been realizing that people aren't fucked up. Like, after you've been through shit like that, you think everybody's gonna be fucked up, and she's slowly but surely coming to like everybody. And even Mercedes, like when she had her panic attack in the car, Mercedes was trying to come into her home and make sure she was okay and talk to her about what her panic attack was about and all this other shit. Like, even at her worst, Mercedes is still like supportive of her. And that shit speaks loudly. So all them times she was just sitting and staring at shit, I think, because you don't just trust people with money like that, I mean, unless she is highly addicted to the money. Because when Mercedes asked her about her drinking, she said she stopped drinking cold turkey. And then when Mercedes asked her, like, why she keep trying to take the money out, she was like, because I like it. Right. So, I don't know. I'm on the fence. What do you guys think? Do you think it's addiction? Do you think she's sitting and watching and realizing these people ain't shit? They're not bad people? And she wants to, pull Mercedes in? What do y'all think? And I think she's going to help Uncle Clifford pay off the whatchamacallit. Because at this point, she got to have at least 100 or close to 100. And with Mercedes helping her, she got money. So I think that she's going to help pay off Uncle Clifford's thing. Because if she helped bail Mercedes out, she got to help pay off Uncle Clifford's shit. So then after we see them, like, talking about transferring the money and sitting in front of a computer and all this other shit, we go to a hotel room and there is Montavious, and Montavious is watching the wire transfer. This thing is crazy. So we're seeing different levels of sociopaths, narcissists, sociopathic narcissists. Montavious would probably be the sociopathic narcissist because, narcissists in themselves aren't violent necessarily. They can be abusive, but necessarily like to hurt things for entertainment, that's not necessarily their thing. They want the attention, the grandiosity, all this other stuff. Sociopaths, are more so, I'm going to meticulously destroy your fucking life for my entertainment. I'm going to hunt you down because you're mine, and I'm going to keep fucking with you like you're my car and somebody stole my car and shit. And sociopathic narcissists are a mix of both. So we see narcissism with Mercedes' mother. She wants the attention. She wants the grandiosity. She wants people being all up in her face like, oh, you're so fucking amazing. Same with the mayor. We see narcissism. He likes the attention. He was pruning and preening his feathers at the barbershop, just soaking in all that. He wants everything in his name, and he will step on and break anyone he feels is beneath him to get the stuff. And then we see Montavious. I don't know if he's grandiose, though. He might just be a sociopath. I don't know. We don't know too much about him. He could be a mix of both, but I think he might be a sociopath, though. You don't hunt somebody down like they're a fucking animal. If you're just a narcissist, you do hunt them down like they're an animal and then torture and or kill them or whatever the fuck. No. It's a mix of either narcissistic sociopath or just sociopath. So we shall see how things go. But I'm glad that Mercedes took a step back from her mom. We'll see if it'll last. It might not. This shit is a process. You can't just step back from some shit that your body's already trained itself to go towards. It's like unteaching yourself how to ride a bike. That shit takes time. It's like in your mind, you want to act like you don't know how to fucking ride a bike. But once you get on the bike, your body's going to be like, oh, muscle memory. Oh, we know how to do this. But yes, what do you think? Do you think that Haley watched them and figured out that they were good people and felt at home in a home environment? Or do you feel like she's just addicted to the money? Or do you feel like it's a mixture of both? And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this sickly Gatorade filled. See, it's just my personality. This is the type of person I am, regardless if I'm drinking or not. But this is Gatorade. It's gonna stretch. Gatorade that I am drinking. So yeah, it's just who I am as a person. And it gets a little turnt when I get a little turnt, but it's still the same me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and later days.